I don't believe in emotional intelligence. I think it's useful, but I'm more interested in emotional fitness. Because intelligence is a capability. Fitness is a state of readiness.
Interesting.
If you are fit, you can take that demand right now and you can deal with it. You can deal with that physical stress, that emotional stress. Same thing's true with psychological fitness, emotional fitness, right? So I'm pretty fit. And part of that is not because I'm so smart. Part of it is that I've taught this for decades.
Make yourself slightly better on a continual basis I think that's something that's accessible to everyone. I think that's equivalent to leading a virtuous life. And you know, I talked about the terrible catastrophe in some sense of differences in intelligence and differences in conscientiousness. They really do everything they can to live a truthful life. And that, you can get a bloody long ways by being honest.
Effort, like good old hard work is unbelievably important. Second business building idea, you want to get your plumbing right. It's really get your architecture right. You know, like the time to build your business is not when you're on fire, it's get the right people, get the right financial systems, get the right culture, get the right, so get the architecture right.
And so the challenge here is this. The two supervillains that we're talking about, it's digital overload. Too much information, too little time. The amount of information is doubling at dizzying speed, but how we learn it, how we remember it, has that changed at all? If anything, there's been a decline. The amount of information is doubling like this. Your learning abilities, in terms of your reading, memory, everything's flatline. That gap creates the stress that you feel on an ongoing basis.
Failure is part of success, as you know. One of the reasons you go to school, you want to cut down that failure rate as much as possible. The mistake that school makes is because you don't make mistakes. But you can't be an entrepreneur if you don't make mistakes. You see, as an accountant, if you make mistakes, you get fired. But as an entrepreneur, I've got to go out there and make as many mistakes as possible and learn quickly.
Think about the times where everything was going wrong. Nothing was going right. What kept you going? When there was no friends around, there was no family, you were in that place. What kept you going? Right? That was your dark energy. That was your dark side.
Books, moments, they're like physical objects, ethereal objects, digital experiences, events. It's all about the idea of imagining something and then making it real.
Feel the aliveness inside your body. And if you don't know what I mean, usually I advise people to close their eyes, hold their hand like this, and ask themselves, without looking at my hand or moving my hand, how can I know whether my hand is still there? That question requires you to direct attention into your hand. And then after a few seconds, you'll probably feel a little bit of a tingling or aliveness in your hand.
You know, when you traveled 69 countries up to 34 times, you get to meet a lot of people. And you hear their stories and you understand the philosophies. And you see how movements around the world, you see the rise and fall of countries.
How many people are going to like me on Facebook? How many bestsellers will I have? How much money am I making? This launch, how much whatever. Your attention and your point of being is actually off being of service, creativity, lifting the world, transforming people, which paradoxically makes you iconic in the world.
My biggest mistakes have been in people. You know, it's like you don't notice Jim Rogers talking about George Soros. So partnerships are some of the most painful things. It's like a divorce.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hiring and meeting people of the same mindset are a horrible process, but that's how you learn. So, you know, the best way you meet people, some of the best deals, some of the worst deals have always brought out the best partners.
And think about this. When does a new day start? At midnight. Is it light or dark out? So if a new day starts in the dark, why are you afraid to use your dark side for your new beginnings?
How many people, I'll tell you the worst habit, because I'm going to talk about this later. The worst habit, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, the first hour of the day is touching your phone. It's the worst thing you could do. The absolute worst. How many people are guilty of doing this though?
We need to regain that sense of agency. Is that sense of agency of actually making the decisions and actually looking at our lives and our patterns and our dynamics and really being courageous about that and being open about it and being supremely curious and not judging ourselves. Oh God, I failed. I was too nice. I pushed myself down. No, but ask yourself, okay, why was I doing that? And do I really need to do that? Am I still really that infant, a young child who needs to choose attachment over authenticity?